all the way. Gandhi.
Gandhi!
Hey. Gandhi, no. Gandhi. No. Dad. David.
The horrifying last minutes of zookeeper Rosa King. Wild animals have always fascinated us. Their beauty, power, and mystery draw millions to zoos and sanctuaries around the world. But behind the glass enclosures and safety signs lies a truth most people don't want to confront. No matter how well we understand them, wild animals are never truly tame. On rare but devastating occasions, this truth erupts into tragedy. Welcome to Nature's Last Call, the channel where the planet's wildest mysteries meet hard science and urgent truth. In today's episode, we explore one such heartbreaking event: the sudden, brutal death of 33-year-old zookeeper Rosa King at Hamerton Zoo Park in England. A woman who dedicated her life to caring for the world's most dangerous animals lost her own in an instant, in a place she knew better than anyone else. What really happened that day? Was it human error, system failure, or simply a chilling reminder of how thin the line is between trust and tragedy when it comes to the animal kingdom? But before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on our upcoming videos. Now let's get started. A passion for wildlife. Rosa King wasn't just any zookeeper. She was a beacon of light in a world often shadowed by the dangers of captivity and conservation. Growing up in rural England, she was fascinated by wild animals, especially big cats. While other children played with dolls or toy cars, Rosa devoured books on lions, tigers, and leopards. Her dream was always singular: to care for the world's most majestic predators. After studying animal management and zoology, she began working in wildlife parks, gradually climbing the ranks. Rosa eventually earned a role at Hamerton Zoo Park, where she specialized in carnivores. Her bond with the animals was almost mystical. Colleagues said she could calm an agitated leopard with just her voice. Visitors marveled at how confidently she moved through enclosures, always respectful, never afraid. But it was her relationship with tigers that defined her. She often spoke of their emotional intelligence, their routines, and their moods. She believed that to truly care for them, one had to understand their language, one built on body movements, gaze, and breathing patterns. And Rosa, she spoke it fluently. The fateful day, May 29, 2017, started like any other day at the zoo. The morning was mild, the park was quiet, and Rosa had arrived early, just like always. Her first task involved cleaning the inside viewing windows of the tiger enclosure, a standard part of ensuring the exhibit looked pristine for the day's visitors. But something went horribly wrong. Sisip, a powerful male Malayan tiger, was meant to be kept separate from the area where Rosa King was working that fateful morning. The zoo relied on a metal gate slide system to securely isolate animals during routine tasks like cleaning and feeding. This mechanism was designed to ensure the safety of keepers by creating a physical barrier between them and the animals. However, on that day, something went terribly wrong. The gate either wasn't fully closed or was left ajar. Whether by oversight or mechanical failure remains unclear. This crucial lapse allowed Sisip to remain in the same space as Rosa without the protective barrier that should have kept them apart. Suddenly, Rosa found herself face to face with the very tiger she had spent years caring for and studying. In that instant, there was no time to react, no path to safety. The attack was swift and brutal, driven by raw instinct and overwhelming power. It was utterly final, a devastating reminder of the wildness that lies beneath even the most familiar of creatures. The final moments. Eyewitnesses recalled hearing a sudden commotion erupt from inside the tiger enclosure, an unexpected flurry of sounds that shattered the usual calm of a sunny afternoon at Hamerton Zoo. At first, many visitors thought the tiger was simply playfully interacting with Rosa King, the beloved zookeeper who had spent years caring for these majestic but dangerous creatures. The powerful cat's movements seemed energetic but familiar, almost like a train dance between animal and caretaker. But then the sounds shifted. The playful growls turned into snarls. The movement became aggressive and erratic. A visitor who had been watching closely realized with horror that something was terribly wrong and immediately raised the alarm. Panic rippled through the crowd as the terrifying truth sank in. The tiger was attacking Rosa. Emergency services were called without delay. Ambulances, paramedics, and police arrived at the zoo within minutes, sirens wailing as they rushed to the enclosure. But by the time the professionals reached the scene, it was tragically too late. Rosa King, despite her knowledge and expertise, had already succumbed to the catastrophic injuries inflicted by the tiger's powerful jaws and claws. Imagine, for a moment, the profound tragedy of this moment. Knowing every inch of a tiger's behavior, its instincts, its strength, and its unpredictability, and still being utterly powerless to prevent the attack. Rosa's final reality was one of harrowing clarity, a fierce, instinct-driven animal, reacting in an instant, ending the life of a woman who had dedicated herself to understanding and protecting it. The very nature she revered had claimed her in the most devastating way imaginable. Investigation and inquest. The inquest into her death opened months later and revealed haunting truths. The incident was ruled a freak accident, but that term barely scratches the surface. Though the zoo's infrastructure wasn't to blame mechanically, the tragedy stemmed from procedural oversight and a lack of fail-safes. The court heard that the safety system relied heavily on human behavior. In other words, everything had to be done manually and correctly every time. There was no built-in redundancy to catch human error. Zoological consultant Douglas Richardson, a veteran in the field, testified that the enclosure's design was not particularly thorough. He noted that working conditions, long hours, minimal rest, may have played a role in mental fatigue and increased the chance of a mistake. Despite Rosa's reputation for being meticulous, even she was not immune to a momentary lapse or an error beyond her control. Expert commentary. What makes this tragedy even more sobering is that it wasn't unprecedented. Zookeepers all over the world face similar risks every day. According to the British and Irish Association of Zoos and Aquariums, serious animal-related incidents are rare but never impossible. In many cases, it's not aggression or malice that causes a big cat to attack. It's instinct. To a tiger like Sissip, who had lived behind barriers his entire life, the sudden presence of a person in his space could trigger a primal response, even toward a familiar face. Some experts argued that zoos should move toward more protected contact systems, where keepers never enter the same space as dangerous animals. But such methods require money, time, and restructuring, resources smaller zoos often lack. The emotional aftermath. The zoo community was left devastated. Flowers, letters, and artwork poured in from around the world. Fellow zookeepers spoke of a chilling reality, that loving your job sometimes means risking your life for it. One letter, posted anonymously near the zoo gates, read, "You gave your life to protect the creatures you loved. Your courage won't be forgotten." Asterisk. Rosa's mother, Andrea King, was dignified in her grief. She loved those animals. She wouldn't want people to fear them, she said in a tearful interview. She would want people to understand them. Rosa's funeral was attended by hundreds, family, friends, co-workers, and even regular zoo visitors. Each person there carried a story of how Rosa had touched their lives. Safety reforms and legacy. In the wake of Rosa's death, Hamerton Zoo took significant steps to improve safety. They redesigned entry protocols, added extra physical barriers, and increased staff training. These changes, though overdue, have already prevented multiple potential accidents. But beyond safety measures, Rosa's legacy has inspired something deeper, a renewed respect for the wildness of wildlife. She showed that love for animals means accepting their danger, not diminishing it. Several wildlife institutions have since launched. The Rosa King Initiative, aimed at improving zookeeper safety and mental health awareness in smaller zoos across the UK. Her story is now used in zookeeper training courses to highlight the thin line between familiarity and complacency. The horror of Rosa King's final moments isn't just in the attack. It's in the silence that followed, the disbelief, the realization that even the most prepared, most knowledgeable, and most passionate among us are vulnerable. What happened in that enclosure was a reminder that nature doesn't bend to love or loyalty. It remains, at its core, wild. But Rosa wouldn't want fear to win. She'd want us to learn, adapt, and protect the balance between humanity and the animal kingdom. If this story moved you, it's time to think bigger. The natural world is full of wonders and dangers, and those who dedicate their lives to understanding and caring for it deserve our respect and support. Like, subscribe, share, and comment to help raise awareness about wildlife conservation and the heroes who champion it. And don't forget to subscribe to Nature's Last Call for more deep dives into the mysteries of the natural world.